Just got out of the movie theater, saw Civil War. Some initial impressions of the movie that I thought I would share because, this is sort of the sensational movie of the year, the movie that's courted the most controversy because of the subject matter, obviously, an American Civil War taking place, which is something that some people see as an all too probable phenomenon. First thing to say about the movie is it's completely a non-ideological. There's no real betrayal of what what the beef is about, why certain factions are arguing, why certain states have seceded, why Texas and California are together, the Western forces. They seem to be the biggest faction, but there's also something about Florida, also supposedly seceding, and maybe some other. It's just sort of there's chaos basically, but it's the Western forces that are the most formidable challenge to the United States central government in the movie, and it seems to be Texas and California. Maybe other states have joined them too. We don't know. There's also people who are. We have mentions of people, in Missouri and Colorado who are just living on a farm and pretending nothing is happening. That's what a couple of the characters say about their parents. So that's kind of an interesting thing in the very first place, because I know that there was a lot of question of. I certainly had my suspicions that they were going to, make the enemies into Trumpians and so forth, but no, the movie very, very auspiciously avoids talk of ideology, and what we have basically is just a war movie set in the near future and following around this core of journalists who are riding in a press car, and they've got press credentials, which generally seems to shield them from any of the factions doing them harm, but as we see along the way, it's not a guarantee. The different journalists are motivated by different things. I guess the main character, Kirsten Dunst, seems like someone who is like a veteran war photojournalist, and who thought that she was capturing footage of wars other places in the world as a warning that people would see those pictures and would decide to avoid that same thing happening in America. But now it's happening in America, and she just kind of feels numb about it now. The other guy, the guy that she's with, he's just sort of a thrill chaser. He's in it for the buzz that it gives him, but he's not immune to the horrors of war either. And there's this younger girl in her early 20s who joins the rest of them, who sort of hitches a ride, as an independent journo, who winds up being, in some ways, I guess Kirsten Dunst is the main character, but this other girl sort of also plays a prominent role, and we see her, I don't know, changing, maturing, if you want to put it that way, or if you want to say maybe use a less positive sounding word, where she gets just more immune, more numb to all the horrors that are happening around her. So that's I think mostly what I want to say about this movie at this point. Maybe at some point in the future I'll have something more to say. I don't think I want to give any spoilers, except to say that the war footage is all very realistic, and there's a lot of violence, and there's a lot of blood, and there's a lot of gore, and that all of the factions who are fighting in this war seem to be, it seems to be a total war kind of situation. There doesn't seem to be much care about civilian casualties. There's no real just war. No one's really following any kind of just war directives or directives that would even resemble just war, with the exception that, again, the press is mostly spared. Whoever they're with, whether they're with some little scruffy faction out in the middle of nowhere, or whether they're with a big army, whether they're actually embedded with an army that's on the march. They're mostly spared, except with a couple of key moments where they're not spared. But I don't want to go into any greater detail about it than that. I think it's worth seeing, and again, the fact that it's non-ideological, the fact that it's not taking, it didn't do what I thought it might do, which is take pot shots at the right. No pun intended, pot shots. It really doesn't do that at all. And I think it's to be commended for that. And that maybe speaks to the possibility that, I don't know, that some people might want to, that the fact that this movie was allowed to be made at all, that it was allowed to be made, after so many years of the media and the movie business just absolutely demonizing the right. The fact that they were allowed to make this movie, which does not take any kind of stand about war, except that war is awful, but doesn't make any side look any better than any other side, and doesn't even make it clear what's being fought over. The fact that it has been made makes me think that maybe some forces out there are wanting to lower the temperature, as the expression goes. That's an expression I guess I've used a couple times, or I've heard used a couple times recently. Lowering the temperature, and that kind of gives me hope, just because I don't want to see a civil war happen. I also don't want to see a World War III happen. But no sign yet that they're turning down the temperature on all the people who are all the brinksmanship going on with NATO right now. No sign that I see, anyway, that's being toned down, or although maybe there is, and I'm just not aware of it. I'm obviously not an insider. But on the Civil War front, the fact that a movie like this could be made with big, with many well-known stars. I guess one star, Kirsten Dunst, and other lesser known names, but still people that you would recognize. and obviously large budget, because the sequences, the war sequences, look very real. That makes me think that maybe somebody important and influential is trying to lower the temperature right now. And I'm cautiously optimistic about that. I know other people out there. I know I have viewers who want there to be a civil war, who are ready, ready to see it happen. I understand the impulse, but like I've said before, I think when you have kids, I think most of my audience are younger than me. When you're older, when you have kids, you develop a different kind of perspective on these sorts of things. So I take a bit of cautious optimism from the fact that this movie was not. Let's all hate on the right. Let's all blame the right. Let's invoke January 6th and make it look like all the insurrectionists in this movie, the ones who are opposing the government, are all January 6th types. It does not do that. It simply does not do that. So the fact that it leaves you with this aura, or this feeling that war is hell, and hopefully we can avoid it. Hopefully we can turn away from that terrible eventuality, and if not get along as a nation, I don't know, maybe we can peaceably, I don't know, this is my agenda now. I'm wondering if we could peaceably secede and not, because I don't think there's much of a future for the United States of America, but I would like to see the breakup of the United States happen peaceably, and not a bloody conflagration, which ends up costing who knows how many lives. The fact that this is an issue right now, of course, is frightening. It's scary. It's not something that even 5 years ago, maybe. It's not something that 10 years ago, I think, we would have thought, that taking a movie like this really seriously, if this might be us. But now we're in the shit, as they say. So hopefully this is a good sign, but I don't know. And that's where I'm gonna wind up this video. Thanks for watching.